With the release of Smite 2's open beta being out for a little over 2 weeks now, new players and returning ones alike have been scrambling to brush the dust off and figure out the ropes. Assuming you're one of those people since you clicked on this video, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to go from a complete noob all the way to a pro. I've been playing for a couple months now, and I trust me, I really get it when I say it can be really tough at first. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to do to improve and start climbing the ranks. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And just as a heads up, I am a little under the weather right now, so if my voice doesn't sound the best, or if I'm not the most clear when speaking, I do apologize, but just bear with me. So before we even talk about advanced techniques, let's just cover the basics. If you're new to Smite 2, the first thing you need to do is understand the different roles in the game. Whether you're playing Assault, Conquest, or Arena, knowing your role and how it fits into your team is crucial. So let's go over a quick rundown. So first we have your warriors. These are your tanks and bruisers. You'll typically see them in the solo lane, and their job is to absorb damage and create space for the team. These are usually your Mulans, your Amaterasus, and even your Bellonas. Second, we have assassins. These are your burst damage dealers. They focus on taking out squishy targets quickly, and you usually see them played in the jungle. These are your Thanatoses, your Lokis, and characters of that nature. Third, we have the mages. These characters deal magical damage from a distance, and you'll usually see them in mid lane, support, or even sometimes solo. These are characters like Nuwa, Hecate, and even Ra. Fourth, we have the hunters. These are ranged physical damage dealers that usually shine late game. You usually see them in the duo lane, and these are characters like Ular, Izanami, Neith, and other characters like that. And then last but not least, we have the supports, and their job is to protect the team and set up kills. Supports are usually healers or tanks, or take on a guardian role, and these are characters like Athena, Aphrodite, Ares, and Sobek. Although Smite 2 removed roles from the game, this still does apply, as you will see most roles in their respective lanes aside from a few flex picks. Okay, now that you've got the basic roles down, it's time to pick a god that fits your playstyle. Smite 2 has a ton of different gods, each with their own unique abilities. My advice for beginners is to start with easier gods that give you room to learn the game mechanics. You can find these gods when selecting a god with the blue logo that says "Great for new players." For example, if you prefer high damage in and out assassins, I suppose you play Nemesis or Loki. Want to support your team? Pick a guardian like Ares or Ymir. And remember, mastering your god's abilities is key. Learn their combos, cooldowns, and positioning to maximize your effectiveness. Spend time in the practice mode to get a good feel for your god's abilities before jumping into actual games. Next up is map awareness and objectives. A lot of new players get caught up in fighting everybody, but Smite 2 is all about strategic control. Here's a quick guide to key objectives you'll need to prioritize. First up is the Gold Fury. Killing the Gold Fury gives your team a ton amount of gold. Not only this, but it also gives you buffs depending on how many times you kill it, which ranges from giving you more speed out of the fountain when respawning, friendly minions taking less damage and dealing more damage, and even all the enemy towers and phoenixes being disabled for 180 seconds. This is huge in a game like Smite. Every second counts. Next, we have the Fire Giant. The team that kills the Fire Giant is granted plus 30 power and plus 20 protections for each time you kill the Fire Giant in that game. This is huge. It can turn the tides of a game from you losing to you winning the game. Use this wisely. And lastly, but most definitely the most important, is towers and phoenixes. Pushing towers and phoenixes is how you take control of the map and progress towards the enemy base. The most important thing in the game is to focus on objectives and not just kills. Also, be aware of where your enemy is on the map. If you see a lot of enemies on one side of the map, that may be your cue to go help your teammates or push an empty objective. The next tip I have for you guys is farming. Farming is one of the most important skills to master in Smite. You want to make sure you're consistently hitting minions to gain gold and experience. Missing farm means missing out on upgrades, which can put you at a huge disadvantage. Here's what you should focus on. Invades. So when you're not in the lane killing minions, you should always focus, if you can, on invading enemy camps. If not possible, make sure that you're clearing your camps to get the most gold and experience possible, that you're always ahead in your lane. Now, buying the right items is also a key factor. Knowing when and what to buy based on your role and the state of the game is key. For instance, if you're ahead, go ahead and buy damage items. If you're behind and dying a lot, opt for defensive items to stay alive. Now, while I won't exactly get into builds in this video, make sure you like and comment down below if that's something you guys would be interested in. And while although builds can be a game-changing factor, if you're new to the game, I suggest just using the pre-made builds, as they're actually pretty decent and don't give you too much to worry about until you actually understand the build system. Now finally, one of the most important skills in the game is communication. Smite 2 is a team game, and like most team games, even the best players cannot carry if their teammates are on the same page. Use pings to signal enemies, objectives, or requests. Don't be afraid to use the voice chat or text chat if you're not comfortable to coordinate with your team. And most importantly, be polite. Encourage your teammates, and remember, it's just a game. Whether you win or you lose, learning from each match is the key to improvement. So there you have it. To go from a noob to a skilled player, it's all about understanding the basics, mastering your god, prioritizing objectives, farming efficiently, and communicating with your team. Rome wasn't built in a day, so take time and enjoy the process. Every match is a learning experience. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for more gaming tips and guides. Let me know in the comments which god you're currently mastering, or any other questions you have about Smite 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!